Well, welcome, Rick.
Thank you.
This is Faith Family Flag, episode probably like 8 or something like that. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll have a lot of them.
Yeah, welcome. Let's just start with where you grew up and how it was. And
Yeah, well, I grew up, I actually was born in California, and grew up there till I was 12. So I really don't remember a whole lot of California.
sure, southern or northern?
Southern, a little town, Riverside County, little town called Norco.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we did live in Garden Grove a little bit. My dad was a chief service engineer for Babcock's and Wilcox. So but he got tired of traveling. He was born here and then moved back to California and then had me and my brother. I just got a brother 6 years younger than me. And so we did that, and then he just got tired of the traveling, and his parents lived here in Spring City. They had built a house like 6 years before that. They lived right there below the spring in Spring City. In fact, our family owned the spring.
Yeah.
And so he got tired of that and just moved back, and I was 12, and that's all I remember is coming back here, basically.
Sure, yeah.
So anyone that asks, I just grew up here, So it was a good time, and Spring City was great. My parents built a house there, and I went to school here from 12 on.
Sweet. So middle school probably in Moroni?
Middle school in Moroni, yep. And they didn't have, when I went to school, hate to say my age and stuff, but I was on the old high school there on Main Street.
Gotcha.
I never got to go to the high school they have now.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what year it changed.
Yep.
So.
When I come to high school, I was in 10th grade, and 9th grade come over with me. So I graduated in 83, so what was it, 80? Somewhere in there, they come over.
Gotcha.
So I wasn't the smallest when I come over, Usually when you come over, you're 10th grade. Well, I was in 10th grade, but the 9th grade come with us.
Gotcha. So you did 9th grade in Moroni, and then
I did, yep.
10th and 9th came.
Yep.
Or 9th grade came with you. So
come with me.
Yeah, okay.
So
they had a whole class of people to pick on.
Oh, yeah, they picked on those other people instead of us. They went with the lower class there, so it was pretty good.
Cool. So that would have been like the Wasatch gym would have been your gym. And then the
that was my gym. Yep.
Yeah, home ec building would have been 180 Fitness.
Yep, where 180 Fitness is now. Yep, that was the bakery and shop and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So, and then the football field was right behind it. Still there, but just not a football field.
Right, yeah. And so then high school, you said you graduated in 1983?
83, yeah.
So what came after high school?
Just stayed around here, worked at Sperry Univac down there in Ephraim. Went to Snow College a little bit. I was a sports person, kind of like Coach Peck. I was baseball, so I was a pitcher for Snow College.
Okay.
I was a left-handed pitcher.
Oh, sweet.
And so the time I was working a full-time job, playing baseball at Snow College in the afternoons. I'd get off work early enough to go to practice. Well, the time came to make the decision that I had to enroll in Snow College or keep working. And the baseball coach was my baseball coach in high school also. And he just said I needed to make a decision, And I fought it pretty hard and decided that I wanted to go elk hunting. So I went elk hunting and quit baseball.
Gotcha. Okay.
And did that. I went elk hunting and kept working at Sperry Univac and worked there until they closed. Okay. And then they offered to put us through school, so I went to the police academy.
Oh, cool.
I went up to Salt Lake to post when it was only 12 weeks.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and I stayed up there during the week, come home on the weekends. And Coach Stanky was our our sports guy that would make us run all over Salt Lake City. We ran our butts off, And then I got done with that and come back here, and I didn't want to be a cop then. It just wasn't for me.
It's definitely not for everyone.
No, it's not. I commend the guys that's doing it now. Yeah. We have a great bunch here now.
Yeah.
Chief Gray and Logan.
Yep.
You
Now that
know,
we have that shared police
yeah,
department.
yep, it's shared now.
Yeah.
Best thing we could have done there.
Yep. And
You know.
the county's great too.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you guys know it on there, but
Yeah,
the sheriffs are awesome.
Yeah, my dad used to be on search and rescue, Dick Allred. So I got to, as growing up, I got to meet all the sheriffs and go on searches and everything. So it was pretty cool. So I grew up in that atmosphere. So I didn't mind that. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. So what came after LEO then?
So then after I did that, got into construction.
Okay.
And went to be a laborer. Traveled all over being a laborer. And then I had the opportunity to get in the operators union.
Okay.
Went to the operators union and traveled all over. Went to Oregon, Washington, doing gas pipelines for Gregory and Cook, a company out of Texas.
Okay.
Did that for 4 or 5 years, and then I'd come home. I'd be off in the winter, so I'd come home, stay at home at my parents' house in the winter, and just be a kid, you know.
Yeah.
And had fun doing that, and then I just got a chance to be in the operators, so then I did that, and after doing that for so long, then I hooked up with W.W. Clyde, which was a union contractor.
Out of Utah?
Out of Utah, yep,
Yeah.
Springville. I started with them right when they was just little. They, in fact, to get your paycheck every week cashed, you would have to go to their bank in Spring City to cash it, or in Springville.
In Springville.
Yeah, so that's how little Clyde's was then, and now they're multi-million dollar
big
company. They're big.
Yep.
I started pretty young, so just last September I got to finally retire from the operating engineers. I had my 85 rule, which is 25 years of service and my age. So I turned 60.
Great.
So I'm collecting a pension, and my wife's retired. I married a girl from Mount Pleasant, Jody, and I have 3 kids, 2 stepdaughters, Jessica and Jory, and a son that me and Jody had together, Riley.
Great. When did you get married?
It's been...
Not to put you on the spot.
Right, yeah.
Hopefully she's not watching right now.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be watching. And I just got to think about it for a minute. But yeah, we have a son, 26. So we've been married 26, 27 years, somewhere right in there.
Okay, great.
So Riley, he's 25. So
Okay. So when you were an operator, you worked at WW Clyde. What did you operate?
Scraper mostly.
Scraper.
I was like one of the best scraper hands, not to toot my own horn, but they'd get me to go all over. I watched lots of accidents too, but not on me, but other jobs. So I'd worked all over Utah on scrapers doing earth moving jobs, lots of dirt, big jobs.
Okay.
So yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed it. People don't like scrapers; they're pretty rough, rough piece of machinery.
It's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, for sure. But I got good at it, so it was something I liked. You know, if you're good at something, then you kind of stick with it. So
Sure, yeah.
I was always called to go off the steepest hill and everything, you know.
Yeah.
So there's even hills that I went off at Kennecott that people said I couldn't believe you went off, you know. So so it kind of a pride deal, you know.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
So you got to work at Kennecott, like
we worked. Clyde's go into Kennecott. We would work there and
Sweet.
do the Kennecott when all the things happened to Kennecott. Those years I was working there, not in that area, but
Yeah. Interesting.
so then you get shut down and just go to another job, you know.
Yeah.
The boys' home up in Boys Ranch up in Heber, I got to work that quite a bit. The Lehigh job, the facility that is security up on the hill.
Oh yeah.
By Camp Williams, I got to work on that. So a lot
The
of
NSA building.
the NSA building,
Yeah.
So I got to work on that quite a bit.
Great. And now they're putting that giant road right there.
Yeah, they are.
You know.
Yep, for sure.
It's funny because the NSA were always really particular about everything that happened there, and they didn't. If you got close, I was in the military there, and if you got close, it was like they'd freak out about stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like if you got close to the fence or anything. And
Yep.
now there's going to be this massive road that kind of splits
Right.
Camp Williams
Exactly.
and the NSA. So.
Yeah, and for us to get in to even go to work, we had to go through like 3 different fences and gates.
I'm sure, yeah.
And show them our credentials. And, you know, working there every day as a construction guy, you don't think much about it. But if you forgot your badge, you couldn't work that day.
Yeah.
You know, that's how strict they was.
Just on the earth moving, huh?
Yeah, just on the
Interesting.
earth moving. Yep.
I mean, that's good. I've heard a lot of crazy stories about, an insider threat, basically like somebody that infiltrated the construction and changed something.
Yes.
They really have to make sure they can maintain custody over exactly what happened and where it was put and everything,
Yeah.
even in the construction phase. So I've never done it with that large of a facility, but there's definitely been like rooms and areas and buildings that I've gone through certification for with that same level of certification.
Yeah,
And it's really meticulous in particular.
It is. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Yeah. So WW Clyde, how long did you work for them till?
Just last September.
Just last September. Okay.
Well, no, I shouldn't say that. 8 years ago in that September. And then I decided to come down here and, start my own construction businesses, dump trucks for hauling, which there's only a couple companies when I decided to do it 8 years ago. We were still pretty small down here and not growing much, but a lot of my friends that was contractors around here said, man, you need to come help us. We can't get gravel and stuff. So I started my own business. It was probably in 2016.
Gotcha.
And I just kept paying into my union through my dump trucks.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I kept accumulating my years. And then once I got to 25 and I turned 60,
yeah,
I decided to pull the plug on that. And now I'm just dispatching, keeping my boy busy. And my brother has a dump truck. So he works for me on another company basis, a leaser is what they call it.
Yeah, kind of like a contract service.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. How have you liked running your own versus working for someone?
Freedom is good. You can do things a little bit at your own pace. You can take a day off if you need it. But the public has got a lot worse. You just got to have a way to deal with them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I have that, whatever you want to call it. I'm just a bubbly guy, I've always got along good with people. Tried to treat them right, be honest.
Sure.
I was just brought up that way. So I like to be treated. I'll treat anyone the way they treat me,
Yeah, I mean, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
Completely agree. How did COVID affect your trucking company?
Not terrible.
Not terrible?
No.
Good.
In fact, we got some loans that we got because of a small company, which it always helps, It was good, but business still around here went pretty good,
Yeah, I don't think if anything, it seemed like construction sped up during that time. Yeah. I don't think it slowed down any.
No, it was one of my good years, and probably my worst year is this year, which is not terrible, but out of all the years that we've kept our records and stuff, and I contribute that we're growing and we're getting more contractors down here, and they're bringing their own equipment, so it's kind of taken away from us small time guys that was here already. So we'll see where that leads,
Yeah.
So I hope I have something to pass on to my son if he wants it,
Sure, yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm probably still going to dispatch and help out at company-wise for a while still. I'm still pretty young.
Yeah, well, I mean, as soon as you stop working, that's when you start going downhill.
Well, we all want to just go vacationing, right?
Yeah.
Go camping or whatever.
Yep. So now that you've retired from at least half of the job, you're still doing some.
Right?
Yeah, you're partial. So I guess that's where you kind of decided you had the time to start doing things with politics.
Yeah, and I'm no politician. I really am not. I just see how in between the people and the council and cities, how there's such a misconception in between.
Yeah,
people just don't know what really goes on, and then until you get educated on stuff, you can get on Facebook and say all you want, and think that's how it is. And I found out through the whole year of going to city council now that just isn't the case.
Yeah,
you can say one thing on Facebook and it's totally different at city council. So that's kind of what I want to be. I want to, like my slogan is the voice of the people. I want people to come to me and say, hey, I heard this, and I can say, that isn't how it is. Just like
Right.
what you and me talked about the property.
Yeah, yeah.
Same
Yeah.
exact kind of deal.
Yeah, it definitely, there's a big disconnect.
Yep.
And it's not even necessarily that the city isn't doing what they're supposed to, at least at Fairview City. I'm not super familiar with Mount Pleasant, but
Right.
it's not that Fairview City isn't doing what they're supposed to. It's just that a lot of the time it seems like what they're supposed to do isn't quite enough to close the gap.
Yeah.
And so it makes it difficult because then assumptions are made and, misinformation or half truths get out and people are like, oh, this must be what it is.
Yeah.
And, and then the other thing too is like there's no requirement to be on social media for a city or a person. And so, a person may be involved with a city doing something and no one will ever know because that person is not vocal on social media.
Right.
So there definitely is there's a lot more to the story than what you see on anything, any kind of platform. You're never going to get the whole side.
Yeah. And actually there is some rules on if you're on city council about being on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. That the cities and stuff that you support or are on, they don't like you to be on Facebook because anything you say, even if it's the right thing or whatever, they people can twist it around and come after the city. Well, so and so said this, and so they don't really like it. They haven't said you can't be on it.
Sure, yeah.
But they gave me a whole pamphlet about that thick when I decided to run. And I really admire Chief Gray. He just has the personality that he can get on Facebook and tell the people what. I mean, they caught a guy on Facebook, showed him his picture, and 15 minutes later he was being looked at.
Right,
So it's really good on that aspect. People, what'd he do? So that stuff is really good, but it can be misconstrued quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
things can
that's
be
something
taken out
you
of
have to watch
context.
on. And I'm on Facebook. It helps my business,
Mm-hmm.
so I am on there. And if I see something that people are saying, well, why did the city do this and that? And I can get on there and say, hey, this is what it is, really. You're kind of wrong on what you're saying or whatever, or give me a call,
Yeah.
I just want people to get a hold of me and I'll go to bat for them, you know.
So what have you liked about, you grew up in Mount Pleasant and Sanpete County, but what is it about Mount Pleasant that you like that you want to try and
country
maintain?
wise, smallness,
Yeah.
And I'm not running for city council to get big businesses to come in or anything. We do need revenue, but I believe I refereed for 30 years, and I went all around to Nephi, all over reffing, St. George, every place, and every place I went, that brought in lots of revenue. So let's use what we got: the Contour Arena, the ballpark, the fourplex.
Yeah.
Let's bring in some. Let them people come spend their money on the weekends and then they leave.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
keep it kind of a bedroom
right. Yeah.
community.
Not that
have
we don't
business
want
and
people
stuff,
moving
yeah.
in, because it's going to happen no matter whether we want it or not.
Sure.
It's going to come. But let's have it come at our pace and enjoy life with the amenities that we have.
Yeah.
And use them to the fullest to bring our revenue where we want it to be.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna dip into the, I guess the gossip for just a second. I heard that the rodeo arena is being moved. Is that true?
Yeah, I believe they're going to move it. I mean,
Okay.
obviously everyone can see they're building a new arena down by the Contoy.
Yeah.
And they are moving it, but the misconception there is they said they're going to sell where it is now. And they're not. They're not going to sell where the rodeo arena. Now they did have it that they might sell the parking lot, just the parking lot, but I don't think that's going to happen either. I think the cities realize that maybe they need to have that for future soccer fields or, stuff like that.
Sure, expansion of
Of that, because the soccer fields right now is at the cemetery property.
Yeah.
So once the cemetery grows, where's the soccer fields going to go?
Right.
So maybe they're thinking down the line. I'm not in the know that much yet by what they're thinking there, but just by me going for the last year or so. But and the main reason I hear they're moving the rodeo arenas is because they need everything just down there in one place. And from what I've heard is the safety at the arena that we have now is just not very good. And I could see that. I helped at the rodeo this year, and there was lots of near misses that the city could have been in big trouble.
Sure.
So we need more space.
Yeah, well, and it doesn't help, or it doesn't hurt to have a new stadium and a new arena.
No,
and
no.
a new, you know.
And I get it. I've been here for all my life too, and yeah, it's a nice hometown feeling to have that rodeo right there where it's been for how long. I mean, I can't even tell you how many years it's been there. And I get some of the people that's saying that, but everything, you know, when you outgrow something and you can't make it any better where it is, then let's get it down there where there's lots more room and stuff. So, but I'd love to hear people's idea exactly why they don't think it can't be moved, you know, because it's just unsafe where it is now. We've made it work, you know, and you try to make it the best, but at some point the rodeo's just getting bigger all the time.
Yeah, is the new arena, do you know if it's going to be bigger?
Yeah, it looks bigger.
Is it?
I mean, you can see it down there. They got the buck and shoots in there and stuff. Like now they're doing some work. I think tonight at City Council they're supposed to talk about something to do with the new arena.
Okay.
So, and there's lots of parking down there, you know, where the contoy is. So, yeah.
Well, good. I actually like the idea of having everything centralized. I mean, obviously, I'm not from Mount Pleasant, and I only lived in Mount Pleasant for a very short time growing up. But from the outside looking in, you know, it's nice to have everything centralized. Like if you had all of your celebrations in a singular place and stuff, like it kind of makes it easier for people to park and then just enjoy the time, rather than having to move through the city to get to different events. So
and where the rodeo grounds is now, I hear they want to expand the park or make it better. So I mean, it sounds like a good plan, but I see most of the people on that don't want it moved saying, yeah, that's a bad idea, and they're just going to sell the property. But I hope it doesn't come to that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not in the know yet. You know, I'm trying to get there. So
that's why I was like, this is probably getting into gossip, because I just heard that it was being sold. I don't know anything about any kind of controversy with it, really. But
and I heard the same thing. And from what I found out, they're not selling it. But don't quote me on that.
Sure, We'll have you back and you can tell us.
About it, for sure.
In a couple of years,
if I can win, right? If I can get in there.
Yeah. So what do you, in your opinion, and you've kind of touched on this, but I want to have like a real good idea. What is the job of a city council member?
So each city council, like the mayor assigns you for something that you're in charge of, you know, like, Lynn is in charge of the sports and he goes to the COP meetings, and so he gets familiar with that. So I believe we just got to be unified, just like the cops here in Fairview and Mount Pleasant. All the city council be as one. You know, if you don't agree on something, let's talk about it. Let's get the best idea, even though you're in charge of something. And say they put me in charge of one thing, and Cade's in charge of another. You know, or Bull or any of them. I get along with them all, Rondi and Lynn, and you know, let's talk about it. You know. And see what we can do and express. We're there for the people. The people's ones that voted us in. Let's get their perspective. And they come in, have, you know, every council meeting they have a public participation. Not many people come. You know, about the same ones all the time. I wish we could get a packed house and get everyone's ideas all the time, but people's busy. I mean, you know, people work and they have city council at 6:30 at night. Some people are just getting home, can't make it to it, you know, all the time. So that's where I'm hoping they would elect me in, and they can come to me in their off time and say, "Hey, Rick, I'm concerned about this. What do you know, or what can you find out?"
Yeah, great. That's one thing that I've struggled with, is trying to find the time to get to zoning meetings and city council meetings and things, because you should attend with some regularity. Like, I'm not saying everybody has to be there every month, but you probably should go, you know, semi-regularly, so you have an idea of what's going on and who's doing what, and, you know, stuff like that. That way, when you have questions, you can direct them in a better, you know, direction to get the right person involved.
And that's kind of how I got involved. Lynn is his wife and my wife are sisters, so
Oh, okay.
That's kind of how I got involved. I wanted to learn more about it, and he would tell me about it. But so I just dedicated time. Luckily, I had my own business where I could take off at. I'd be off by 6:30 at night. So I've been going to city council for a year now.
Oh, sweet.
Just sitting in the back, listening, soaking it all in, trying to figure it, asking questions. And every one of them's been really very good at answering my questions or trying to help me out. And Chief Gray, there's lots of things I've asked him. He's good, and all the council members. The mayor, I've got along good with the mayor.
Great. Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and you have to. I mean, just because people say, well, I don't like so-and-so. Well, we all don't like people, right? But let's just get it wrong. We don't have to like someone to get along with them.
Exactly, yeah. And I do feel like we don't really have there definitely is like Democrats and Republicans in St. Pete. But that's not really like in the politics in St. Pete. There's not a lot of like the right versus the left,
Exactly.
And so, but there is still like a division, which is strange. It's like we can't not have division in our politics, and it's good. I actually think that it's better that we have it, mostly because you have to have differing opinion to some extent. You can't, if everyone just agreed all the time, there'd be no point to it, and everything is just going to go one direction. And so I like having the difference of opinion, but it seems like we take it to an extreme where it turns into, I don't want to be around that person and talk to them, and I can't be cordial to their family and, things like that. And that seems too extreme for me, like I'd rather see everybody argue at city council and then go have a slice of pizza together.
Yeah.
After, because we're still in a community, and we're still trying to help each other raise the whole, rising oceans raised all the boats. We want everyone to rise. We don't want to leave one person behind or, raise one person faster than another. Like, that's not the idea. Yeah. We all are trying to get the same concept. We just have different ideas of how to accomplish it.
Yeah, we all have the same objective. We want to make Mount Pleasant great, right?
Yeah.
Just to where some place that we all want to live at. Right. And we all have our different ideas, but we can still live in the same town and have the same goals.
Yeah.
Is my thought. And, that's kind of what got me involved in that.
Sure.
To do that.
Yeah. I know you're not going to necessarily, like you're a council member for 2 years. Is that right? It's a 2-year term? Yeah.
So there's two seats open. There's 4 of us running. Yeah. So we get 2 seats.
And then that's a 2-year commitment.
That's a good question. I don't know if it's 2 or 4.
Okay. I think they're 2.
It might be 2.
And I think every other year you do the opposite. Like, so you're going to have 2 open, and then you'll have 3 open, then you have 2 open. If I remember, I think that's how Fairview is. Mount Pleasant might be different. I'm not sure, but.
Yeah, and I'm not positive. Heck, I'm just worried about getting in there.
Sure, yeah. However long it takes.
Right, yeah.
But so this is a question that's a little beyond what you might get for your first term, but where do you see Mount Pleasant in 5 years?
Oh, I hope we're a little bit farther than what we are now, growth-wise, which we know that's going to happen no matter what. I mean, whether we want it or not. When I was in high school, did we ever think Mount Pleasant would be as big as we are now?
I never thought there'd be a stoplight.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's a big tale. Look at Ephraim. I mean, they're going to have another stoplight here pretty quick.
Yeah.
And we're just going to grow. I mean, here before long, we got another General Dollar, which we can't tell businesses not to come to Mount Pleasant. Mm-hmm. If they choose to come to Mount Pleasant and they meet the criteria, they're coming to Mount Pleasant. If you don't want a business come to Mount Pleasant, get on the planning and zoning and make a memorandum that these kind of businesses shouldn't come.
Right.
Until that happens, we're open arms.
Yeah.
Let any business come. People say we need a new Maverick. Well, they're gonna expand that Maverick now. They're gonna make it bigger.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're gonna go to the south and again to the back. Is what I'm told. So,
gotcha. That's cool.
So they're going to make it a little bit bigger, and maybe it won't look as bad as it does now. It's pretty cluttered. You know,
it's a small building.
It's just a small building. Yeah. I went to Logan to a family reunion, and they got 2 Mavericks across the street from each other. Yeah. A great big one and a small one just like ours. Yeah. So, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But, and so we have a lot going on as a town for Mount Pleasant, and it's exciting. I don't know if we're going to double in size or anything like that. I don't think so. But we're getting so many people up in the mountains, and I see that by doing delivering sand and gravel. That's booming up there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my biggest business is going on the mountain. I mean,
is that like mostly up Aspen Leaf or Aspen
Whispering Pines,
Okay.
Pine Creek, Aspen Hills,
Aspen Hills, that's what it is.
Skyline Mountain Resort,
Okay.
up Fairview Canyon. I mean, I
Yeah.
deliver clear to Schofield,
Sure.
Gooseberry. It's all growing. I mean,
Dang.
you wonder where these people get their money. I got to pick their brain, right?
Well, I mean, it's crazy to watch. Like, I feel like you see growth everywhere else in Utah, and it's in the valley. You know, with the exception of like Park City, Heber,
Right,
like
yeah.
they're up in the city, but
Yeah.
that's still a valley. It's not like they're in the mountain. But man, it seems like down here, like our growth is just as much in the mountains as it is in the valley.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, Mount Pleasant, Fairview, you know, everyone's trying to keep it this nice little town, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. That's what I grew up in, but it's just only a matter of time. It's just going to slowly grow, and at some point we're going to get like Ephraim, you know, what's happening down there? Are they going to take the hospital down there? Are they,
Yeah.
you know, hopefully this hospital stays here, which I hear it will, to a capacity and stuff like that. So it's just going to get bigger, you know.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's no stopping it.
There's
It's
no stopping it.
kind of like time.
Yep. So we need revenue. I had to travel up north for work for 25 years. My wife 27 years to Spanish Fork.
Oh wow.
You know, because there wasn't work down here.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, I travel up north, and I have for over 10 years for
Yeah.
work, you know, and it's not that everyone's like, well, why don't you just move up here? All my coworkers are like, why don't you move up here? Why do you drive so long? And I'm like, it's worth it. Have you ever been to San Pete?
Right. Exactly.
I'm not moving from here.
Yep.
Like, my kids grew up walking to school, walking home from school. You know, they can walk to their friends' houses. They can go out and do whatever they're going to do. And I don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. Yep.
So-
And that's what we grew up with here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how a lot of people say, hey, we need to keep it that way, but good luck.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to grow to a little bit of capacity. And everything after COVID, the remote, you know, a lot of people get to stay home now and work and don't travel because that road's getting terrible. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah. I can't wait. I mean, I don't want to see it because of growth, but I'd like to see that be a 2-lane,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah, we
it'd make
definitely,
traffic
and it
so much
definitely needs
easier.
bigger. Yeah.
But yeah, it gets messy, especially on holiday weekends and stuff.
Yeah,
You
terrible.
really run into
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So-
You know, if you're going anywhere on a holiday weekend, you better be going just a little bit south
Yeah.
and not very far because once you get past down by Beaver, then it's just crazy down there too.
Yep. Yeah, it's just as bad. So what do you hope to achieve to maintain what you want to see Fairview Mount Pleasant become?
Pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope we can just progress a little bit, get some businesses, smaller businesses in here. I mean, we got a fabric shop coming in too,
Oh, cool.
out by the new bank. You know, first the secure. What is it? Credit
Utah
union.
Heritage.
Yeah. So there's a little fabric shop, which I mean that's great. My wife loves fabrics, you know, and she can't find what she wants at Walmart. You know, we went
Yeah.
down there and their selection's really slow, so maybe that'd be great. You know,
Yeah,
a
that'd be
little bit
awesome.
of revenue. You know, and I don't know what they're going to do with the old credit union. Expand that
Right,
pizza
yeah.
place.
Mhm.
We go to Cavaliers and eat. They need a bigger
Yeah.
place there. You know, so there's
Yeah.
some more people coming in. You know, just bring their money to Mount Pleasant and come for the weekends and enjoy our mountains and stuff, but don't stay. Right?
Yeah. 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 Come and visit and then go home.
Exactly. Yeah, and I guess that's sad to say, but we've lived here all our life, and we want it to stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
But like we said, it's not going to. But let it grow at its own pace. No, we don't need to help it out.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll do it on its own.
Yeah.
It does. I do think that growth needs like a guiding hand, you know, because you have to have infrastructure. Like you can look around Utah and see plenty of places where infrastructure wasn't considered, and then growth happened.
Yeah.
You know, Eagle Mountain is like my favorite one because I have coworkers like I was talking about that tell me to move up there, and they live in Eagle Mountain, and my commute's like not a whole lot longer than theirs, you know, just because of traffic.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so like I'd really like to see, because like you're saying, the growth is inevitable. We have, whether you're Mormon or not, there's 2 temples, and that means growth.
Yeah.
You know, that means there's going to be people coming here. The college is expanding. That means more people are going to be coming here. And then also with remote work, people can branch out more from the cities, you know.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen. But how can we guide it in a way that's going to make it where it's still functional and it's the best environment going forward for everyone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's good that way. Yeah. And for, what was it, 35, 40 years, I wasn't active in the church. So, and I am now, but it works for me. I mean, I used to say it wasn't for everyone, but it is for everyone, but you just got to make a choice, right?
Yep. Yeah.
But I try to I don't go by, well, they're not in the church, I don't support that, you know. I'm just not that way, because I was on the other side of the fence for a long time.
Sure.
I've met some of the greatest people that's not even in the church. So you don't have to be in the church to be good people. And
right.
in fact, some of them tell me, if you're in the church, you better look out for them.
Yeah.
But that's their saying. So, but I just, like I said, I want to treat me like I want to be treated, you know,
Yeah.
and I'll treat you the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's great.
I think that's a good way to think about things. That's the way I was brought up. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are there any major projects that you'd like to see happen in Mount Pleasant? Like singular specific projects?
well, I'm a big sports guy.
Okay.
I'd love to see a rec center, but that's millions of dollars.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
an indoor rec center with
Yeah,
everything.
indoor
Gotcha.
rec center, that'd be awesome. You know,
Yeah.
we need one. The old armory's filled its position. You know, it's about to its max. You know,
Yep.
so yeah, I would love to fight for that. And they're trying to get a unified sports thing to where all the cities are included in one, instead of Mount Pleasant just being always in charge of getting things going. You know.
Yeah.
So, and I know Cade Beck is doing a petition right now to see how many people or towns and stuff would be interested. So
Okay.
if you are interested in that, that would be a great resource to get something like a rec center down the road.
Yeah.
Would be good. We have so many other problems in Mount Pleasant with the roads and water situations, you know.
Yeah.
I'd like to help with them to get some of those ones that's not just been caused by now. I mean, the roads have been a problem in Mount Pleasant for how long?
As long as I can remember.
A long time. It's not this administration's
Yeah.
deal. You know, they just inherited it.
Yeah. Well,
So, and
roads
they're
are
trying to deal
expensive.
with it the best. Rondi Black's in charge
Yeah.
of the roads
Uh-huh.
right now. He's trying to get things together and getting a plan, and at some point we'll get some new roads. You know, right now we're just patching what we got.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get by. I know people's impatient. I'm impatient. I don't like the potholes. You know, they ruin my vehicle or make it sound like it's falling apart. You know.
Yep.
But going to city council and you see, they're taking baby steps to get it, but you know.
And I think everyone looks at small town business or small town government like it's the big government where it can just have as much money as it needs.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of people don't realize till you start going to the meetings and you see the budgets and you see where costs are going and what things cost actually, and you start to realize that, maybe Mount Pleasant is bringing in a fair amount of money, but it's putting out just as much or more.
Yep.
In just trying to maintain, you know.
Yeah, they don't call it Hub City for a reason, right?
Right.
I mean, that everybody comes there for the sports and the biggest revenue stuff, the restaurants and stuff, which you have some good ones here in Mount Pleasant. Mardell is bringing in some good stuff and doing a good job, and the TC's has been there forever, and you know they're good too, you know. And people say, well, why can't we have good as roads as Fairview? Well, they didn't have the problem 30 years ago that we've had for the whole time, and we're just we're playing catch up.
Yeah.
And at some point, hopefully, you know, are we going to get new roads? I mean, sometimes my thought is our roads been terrible so long that people just say, just raise the taxes, get the roads done, you know. But that's no way to look at it, really.
Right.
But hopefully we can get something done. And I've learned quite a bit, but they are going through processes to get us some better roads. But it's just a slow process.
Yeah, it really is. How have you liked dealing with the current city council members and the mayor. I know you've talked a little bit about how you get along with them, but what do you think about what are their strengths right now?
Oh, they've been in there longer than me even coming to city council. They all have, just like you said, they all have their different ideas, and they all had their certain thing that they wanted when they come in. And I haven't talked to like Cade. Cade's the newest one, and Paul. And Paul's one of the seats that's opened. But I haven't got to ask him, have you got accomplished what you want, But they're good. I enjoy listening to them, and what I like it is small town stuff. If you see something you didn't like I go and ask them.
Yeah.
I just go talk to them. I'm friends with them all, at a personal level or a business level or friends or whatever. I've known them all for a long, long time. So I just go to them and say, hey, I didn't understand this. What's your thought on that?
Yeah.
And they'll explain it to you, and that's kind of what I want to be, something like that where you don't feel bad. I'm not that great at getting up and talking in front of people, but like one-on-one, I can talk all day long,
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm not the smartest person. So sometimes I don't get what they're saying. So I'll just go up to them and kind of put it in my words. So what did you mean on this? And they'll explain it to you. So that's kind of where I get the feel of what I want to do. Have people come to me and say, hey, Rick, what do you think about this? And if I don't know, I'll get back to you. I'll let you know. I'll research it,
Yeah. And so what all positions are open this year? So there's 2 council members, and it's
the mayor. Yep.
Council and the mayor?
The mayor. Yep. No one run against the mayor. So
he's running uncontested.
He's just going on that. And then 2 seats are open.
And it's Paul.
Yeah, Paul's seat is the one that's going to be open, and Lynn's seat.
And Lynn's, but he's running.
And
again,
he's rerunning.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
And then who is your competition that you're going with?
Jim Wilberg.
Okay, so Officer Wilberg.
Used to be the chief.
Uh-huh.
And Hallcroft. Jake Hallcroft.
Jake Hallcroft, yeah.
He works for Centercom. Somebody told me. I don't know him. My wife actually gets her hair done to his wife, so
Cheryl.
They've talked.
Yeah, he's a young guy. He's younger than me.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's good to see things like that.
Yeah, young people in there that have that interest to come up. I mean, we have a youth council that was just there, and boy, them guys were right on spot.
Yeah,
they're just in high school and wanting to be in the realm of that. I don't know if it's politics that they liked, but they seem to, we need young people. We don't need us old people always in there, Get a good mix. Cade's in there. He's pretty young.
Yeah.
So that's good. And Rondi, he's not that old. He's still working at the coal mine. So,
that's where I remember him from. I think that's great. It's been a while since I've been up there, but there's still some names that ring a bell.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's good. I have a good relationship with every one of them, I think, anyway. Every one of them will talk to me. And now I'm pretty sure they know now that I'm running, but that wasn't my plan when I started coming a year ago.
Mm-hmm. You just wanted to learn.
I just figured I couldn't complain about something if I didn't know about it.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
That was the main thing,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you hear people on Facebook that are complaining about stuff, and me going to council now, you're thinking, yeah, you really don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So come to me. I'm going to run. If I win, come to me. I'll help you out.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do. And I got a good enough relationship with all them people that I can just say, we got some concerned citizens. This is the question, and get their perspective on it too.
Yeah. How have you felt like the North County Fire or Police Department has been?
Oh, great.
It's been great.
That's the best thing that ever happened for them to unify. I know you guys were unhappy when you lost Chief Gray.
Yeah.
And went to Mount Pleasant, but Logan.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not. Logan's right there with Chief Gray.
Yeah.
And I know Logan and his family, and I served in the Elders Quorum with Kevin, which is Allie's dad.
Uh-huh.
And so they're good people. So you're not you got the best of both worlds now.
Yeah, I feel like we've had a little bit better coverage since.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So it's nice.
Yeah. And I don't know all the officers. I know Chief Gray and Logan, and the other ones I don't really know him that well, but Valentine, I know him and stuff that was over in Mount Pleasant already. But they all do a good job. They're keeping us safe.
Yeah, they're great. I've enjoyed it too. I think it was a great idea.
Yeah.
And I know there's been talk of doing a similar thing with the power. Have you heard anything about it?
Yeah, I heard it's in the talkings.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to come about. Spring City too. Kent Coomer runs that over there. But they all kind of work together now anyway, right? I mean,
yeah, that's
they
the
help
thing
each
is
other.
they're already like trading hours constantly.
Yep.
And so it almost just makes more sense because then it's just going to take some of the burden, like the time constraint off.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Talking to some of the Fairview City guys, they're like, well, we're the linemen, and so we're going and we're helping Mount Pleasant when they need an extra lineman, and then, you know, Spring City, he's going to retire in the next like 2 years, I think they said, and so they won't even have a lineman. And so, you know, Garrett here in Fairview is like, it makes it where I'm on call a lot more. You know, if we could get all three companies together, all three cities together, then it would lengthen the time that he goes between being on call, which, I mean, that's great. And no one should ever be on call every day.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even every other day.
Exactly.
That's a lot of time that you spend. So
yeah, and Moroni, you never know what that they use the county right now. So I'm friends with Paul right now too, but I don't think he's rerunning. I think somebody else is running there. But who knows? We might get a few more cities in. You know, police department and power and maybe public works. Who knows? You know, it's endless. You know what could happen, whether it does or not. Depends.
The power definitely makes sense where it all comes down the same trunk. Then we split to the three cities. You know? And I don't know where Moroni is on that. If they're just at the same point before us, or if it's separate. You know. But, yeah. At the same time, though, like you're saying with Manning and stuff, it's just easier if you can pull from a larger population. You can get more people.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So
we have coverage 24/7 now with the police.
Yeah.
So there's always someone out. You know.
Right.
We always thought, the criminals know that the last shift leaves at midnight or something. You know. So everything happened from midnight to 4 in the morning. You know.
I think it was 2:00 when I was a kid.
Was it 2?
I don't know how I knew that. But that's something I remember.
Well, we can only imagine, right? Well, none of us was perfect as kids.
Right.
And they definitely can't get away with what we did now.
Oh no, there's way too many people watching.
Yeah, for sure.
But, does Mount Pleasant City do anything with the Board of Education or the district or the schools or anything like that?
Yeah, they're involved as far as I know on, like the ball fields, and they share that kind of
partnerships
kind of stuff. Yep.
I wasn't sure if there was any kind of
I know there's always communication going on between them on something. A couple of weeks ago they had a meeting the same time as on their taxes, and it was the same time as the city council, so I didn't get to go, but I talked to some people, and there's a lot of unhappy people about it. But I was told by some of the council that they could get a grant to fund get more money, but they needed to say if they were getting $100 from one of the city people, that the school district charged, they would get $200 for that 100. So they seen that as a way to get more revenue, more money for the school district.
Right.
Instead of asking the school district to ask the people for $300, only ask them for $100. But there's such a tight fix on the older generation that's retired, and everything has went up so much.
Yeah.
And so you feel bad for them because they're definitely on a fixed income. They raise their kids. They don't have any kids, so why are we paying school district? And I kind of get it, but it's just something a rule that they've made that doesn't seem like that's going to change.
Yeah, and I go back and forth on if Utah shot themselves in the foot by saying no lottery. That I don't really like the lottery, and I don't think it's all that beneficial.
I don't support the lottery either, but if Utah had it, then
and you had all the money,
we could
going
get some
of
that money.
Yeah, like that, because that's kind of how it is in other states. I'm pretty sure they use it to go towards the school districts and stuff, and that takes it where there's money that can come in to smaller schools that don't have as big a population to pull taxes
Right.
from.
Yeah.
You know.
And who knows?
So-
Things change in times. So maybe
Yeah.
one day it will get here.
I mean, I think every time they do a legislative session, it comes up as a bill, but
Yeah.
I haven't ever seen it pass because,
Yeah.
you know,
What for every reason? I mean, you always hear
Yeah.
it's because of the church, but
yeah, right. I mean,
is that the real reason, or
yeah,
let's see? You know,
it could just be
unless
moral
you
values.
go to President Nielsen and ask him. So is the church? You know, who knows what happens there? You know.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty funny how people think that, like, even at the city level, you hear it where it's like, well, it's all the Mormons.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have someone that's doing something with the city that's not or something, like they just assume
Yeah. Exactly.
it's the
Yeah.
Mormons. But and honestly, you could probably say that most of the time because most of the people in the area are, and so
Well,
you're
yeah,
gonna run into
it's
that.
definitely a Mormon community.
Yeah,
you know.
you'll run into where it's
Yeah.
like there's just a lot of them, so you can easily say it's Mormons. But
Yeah, it was kind of funny when I told you I moved here when I was 12 years old.
Mhm.
I do remember telling one of my friends in California we're moving to Utah, and he says, "Oh, you're going to be one of them Mormons, huh?" You know, and I didn't even know what a Mormon was then.
oh yeah. That's funny.
So even people in California know about that
Yeah. There's a lot that are learning as they come out here too.
for sure. Yeah.
So, have you had so you probably talked to a lot of people around Mount Pleasant, and there's been a lot of growth since COVID. In my experience, a lot of the growth around Fairview has been people from Utah in the cities moving to the country.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the same thing in Mount Pleasant, or do you see more of out-of-state people?
No, a lot of people from Mount Pleasant, from up
From
north.
Utah,
Yeah.
that are just moving out. Yeah,
Yep.
it kind of seemed like people from other states moved to the city, and then people from the city moved to the country.
Yeah.
It's
And
kinda what I
then
saw.
the bigger places like where I deliver gravel outside of town, like the county, that have big property that they're selling. That's when you see the bigger people moving in. Like
Yeah.
California, they sell their property in California and come to Utah and pick up property just as, half of what they
Yeah,
sold their business or whatever in California, and still be able to build what they want here in Utah.
Right.
So I do see that with bigger farms,
Mhm.
where the people's building out in the county now.
Yeah, I've
So-
seen some of that too. But so what do you do for fun? What are your hobbies?
Sports.
Just sports?
Yeah, and I
You
never
still play?
I don't play anymore, nope.
Okay.
And I refereed, so I played for 20 years. I never thought there'd be a Saturday that I didn't play softball. So me and Chad Larson, we put together men's softball, or co-ed,
Uh-huh.
and we played every Saturday.
Awesome.
We hooked up with Wendell Jacobson and them in Fountain Green.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the Nationals in Idaho one year,
Oh, cool.
so I got to experience that.
Yeah,
I was
that's
an
awesome.
okay player. I wasn't the best one, but I got to travel with them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
So that was good. And then just kind of snowballed from once I tore my Achilles tendon in half. And I did get to play after I did that, but it just wasn't the same.
Yeah, that'll slow you down.
Yeah. So I did that, and then working construction out of town, kind of fell in that
Yeah.
realm. And then, so then when I was home in the winter, I started refereeing. So you
Gotcha.
need some thick skin to do that too.
Yeah, especially now.
I
It
did
seems like it's
junior
gotten
jazz
worse.
for probably there in Mount Pleasant, 30 years.
Yeah.
Me and Scott Dykes, Terry Dykes, we did that for a long time. So that kind of snowballed into softball and basketball, junior jazz in the winter.
Yeah.
So I have lots of kids coming up to me that's grown parents now, and you remember reffing me in junior jazz? So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you follow any pro teams?
I'm a Dodger fan.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we don't want to talk about them right now, man. They're slumping. I don't know. I hope they even make it to the playoffs, which they will, but I don't know if they'll make it out of there this year.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, is there anything else you want to say to the people? Before
Yeah, I
we're
mean,
done?
just hopefully what you've heard today, I can help you, and something struck a chord to where, yeah, he seems like he could do something that we need, and come to me and talk to me, tell me what you needs, and see if I can help you. Even if I don't get in, I'm still gonna You know, it ain't like, well, I didn't win, I'm quitting.
Right.
You know,
Still
I'm still going to do it. I've built a relationship ongoing this last year. So, I mean, after doing it for a year, it's kind of hard just to, well, if I didn't win, I'm not going no more, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think we have a new person in there, Debbie James, that's doing the events now. She's awesome. We went on a ATV ride. We're going to have a jamboree.
Oh, cool.
From every year from here on out.
Sweet.
A 2-dayer.
In coordination with the 4th?
No, it's gonna be around now.
Okay.
And it's sponsored by kind of Mount Pleasant City, and
Gotcha.
And we went up on Friday, did a ride. We had 70 people. We had to be kind of small this year because the Forest Service didn't want us in that, so we had 3 groups, and we went up Pleasant Creek to the top, and then down to Potters, then over from Potters to Joe's Valley. Then we went up over Joe's Valley to the Cut of the Shoe, looked off the Horseshoe, then went over through the Cut of the Shoe through Reeder, over that way, and then down Spring City. Sweet. And then just drove the side-by-sides from Spring City back to Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we had a Dutch oven at the pavilions.
Awesome. That's quite the ride.
Yeah, it was 71 miles.
Yeah, that's great.
So, and that's something that she put together, and I was a guide, so I helped, and we had Lynn and his wife, and me and my wife, and Sleepy and his wife, and Dave Peel and Joan.
Yeah.
We all was guides because we'd been on that ride 100 times. So.
Right, yeah.
So it was really good. Met people. Some people come from Texas and Mesquite, you know.
Yeah, that's fun.
And they know about this place, and they're just like, what we want. They come in here, they spend a couple nights, and go home.
Yeah.
You know, and they like it that way, you know. But
yeah.
they think it's beautiful here.
Right.
Like we always have, you know.
Yeah. So
stuff just like that, that's what we need. You know?
How do people get involved with your campaign if they want to help in any way?
Well, you know, it's so difficult anymore. You have to report everything. So I'm just kind of funding it myself.
Sure.
So I don't have to deal with nothing. I just keep the things that I need to for my signs and stuff. So we're not so big here that I need campaign money.
No,
you know.
No. But if anybody wants to promote you or anything on social
media,
get
a hold of me. I have some signs that I'm having made right now. I'm probably going to start putting them out at the end of this month, you know, and start campaigning. I want to go to door a little bit and see what people's thoughts are just by getting out. You know, if you get out, maybe they think you care about things and putting a little bit more effort into it. So
and just reach out on Facebook.
Yeah, just reach out on Facebook, or my number's pretty well advertised because I have a business. For sand and gravel, so I have some signs on corners for my business. So
okay, great.
That, and then I have a city council page for Rick Allred on Facebook. So
okay, yeah, great.
Go on to that, and heck yeah, just get a hold of me if anything I can help you with. I've already had, I bet 30 people reach out to me.
Good.
And just ask me questions, and some of it I didn't know, and some of it I did. So
yeah. Well, great. Thanks for your time today. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you letting me come over. I know I contacted you and everything because I didn't know how it worked, but
no,
I appreciate you letting me come talk.
Yeah, no problem at all. Okay, thank you.